done about 5 years ago, Professor Joy. And it was research that was conducted with the business school at the University of Oxford, and with the British telecom firm BT. This was done over a 6-month period. In conclusion, the study found that being joyful and productive, they found that workers were 13% more productive when they were joyful. They found that workers are happier, joyful. They work faster by making more calls per hour worked, and importantly, convert more calls to sales. And this was a quote from Jan Emmanuel Deneuve from the University of Oxford. Another interesting thing, the study also factored in local weather conditions, Professor Joy, and uncovered a clear negative relationship between adverse weather conditions and the joy of the worker.
Now, England obviously doesn't have the most complimenting weather. So, as an architect, in my architectural office, I had an intern from London, Lauren, and she came for 3 months and worked there. And she didn't want to go back. You say, is there any way you can keep me here? I said, Lauren, you came for 3 months. And that's the kind of visa you have, and you have to go back. He said, okay, I'm going to go back, but I want to come back because I hate the weather there. Now, she told me that 3 months that she spent here in Southern California, she feels she was the happiest ever in her life. So there is a relationship between good weather, being joyful, happier, accomplishing more, and on and on and on.
Yeah.
Now, your previous statement about 13% more productive.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I would say that it could even be higher, because being joyful becomes a way of life. So, Braden, our friend chief of police of Long Beach, 1,300 police officers, I asked him, I said, hey, Braden, what's the age group kids start getting incarcerated? He said, 12-year-old. I said, my God, 12-year-old are babies.
Right.
How do they get incarcerated, in trouble with law? He said, well, that's the time they're looking for joy or be happy, and they try to find it in drugs, gangs, crime, illicit sex, and shit like that. And they get in trouble.
What if we were to introduce JoyScore to schools?
Well, we're doing that because our sister company called Readability, they help kids from 4 to 12. And I'm suggesting that when they leave Readability, they adopt JoyScore.
Absolutely.
And then they stay with it till the end of life, because now we are talking about workplace.
But this is also true in the education field also.
Absolutely. In fact, every aspect of life. So you haven't met him, but before you got involved with JoyScore, I had a board member. His name was David White. And he had a friend who had 400 employees in the company, which went and took care of older people at home, helped them out with food and bathing and whatever. And he said, these people are very stressed, and JoyScore can help them feel better.
Yes.
And I say, absolutely. And then he comes back and say, by the way, not only just employees, even our clients could benefit from it because they have lost hope. They think they're slowly dying.
Right.
But if they can learn to use JoyScore and realize that they can improve their JoyScore, so now it's going to give them new hope. And they'll feel better.
Right.
So, and these are all like 70 plus years old, so my thinking is that anyone, and we have one of the influencers we have, she has a place called Bala where she teaches kids, 4-year-olds, meditation and yoga. I said, how do you teach them? He said, they love it. So I said, if you can teach kids, 4-year-olds, how to be joyful by being involved with yoga, meditation, and breathing. I mean, Steffi does that. Steffi's son is 4-year-old, and she does yoga and stuff with her. And she says he enjoys it. So the point is that people can learn to be joyful at any age. I mean, I don't know if I can really teach anyone earlier than 4-year-old, but 4-year-old I know for sure, Steffi is, this lady Bala is, that they can learn to be joyful. I mean, she was saying that he enjoys it. So if you can teach kids to be joyful, you know what you're doing?
Yes.
It's changing their life.
Yes.
And at 12-year-old, they won't need to be incarcerated.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because they would know what to do with their life.
Right. Right.
So this is the foundation, of human life, I would say.
Right. What a great place to stop.
Thank you.
Everybody, thank you so much. We have a guest coming next week.
Yes.
And so we hope that you will join us for another edition of the Professor Joy podcast. Have a great week, and we will see you next week.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Metzger.